This video today is for anyone who is struggling to get to inbox zero. So I'm Angelique Duffield and I am a email hoarder. I am having a decluttering month, not only with emails, but with my storage locker and getting rid of that and getting stuff out of my life and making things simpler. So if you are like me and you have 10,000 or more emails in your inbox or just in your stored emails, then this is for you. Now, there's a lot of systems out there trying to get you down to inbox zero and to have a plan to get rid of them every day. But if you are like me and you're struggling to just get rid of all those emails in bulk, then that whole plan and strategy isn't even at the top of your mind yet. So I have 10 tips to try and get through the bulk of your emails, and so you can actually get to the planning phase. That is part 2. Part 1 is just getting rid of those emails so it doesn't clog up your inbox, so you don't miss any messages, so you don't have to troll through them anymore, and so it doesn't take as long time to load your inbox. All right, so 10 steps to getting closer to inbox zero. First, I want you to take a snapshot of your inbox and the email. So at the top of Gmail, you can see what's in your inbox and all of your emails that you've got. So take a snapshot of that because I want you to celebrate the wins, no matter what you get down to. If you have gone from 5,000 to 500, that is something to celebrate. So I want you to take a snapshot, save it on your desktop so that you can look back at it after doing this for a couple of hours or a couple of days and see how far you've come. So like I said, I had 11,000 and now I'm down to my last 1,000 or so, and I just wanted to share this with you right away. All right, so the next thing you want to do is use your Gmail settings. So I'm talking mostly about Gmail because that's the platform that I'm using. But first of all, you want to change your settings so that you are viewing 100 emails. That's the maximum that you can do. So that gives you the maximum that you can just kind of see and skim through and be able to select. The next thing I want you to do is use your search function. So that is the best way to start looking through your emails, and you can search for anything that has attachments over a certain size. In Gmail you can have, I think, up to 25 megs. So maybe if you've just got a really full Gmail and you're getting close to that 15 gigs because you send a lot of documents or templates and brochures and PDFs and photos, then maybe you just want to get rid of a bunch of your big files. Okay, so that's something that you can do pretty easily just in a search. You can search by dates. You can search for anything that's just in draft mode. So get a little familiar with your Gmail search and search in bulk and get rid of things. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later, and maybe in another video I'll talk about how to do that specifically. All right, so the next thing you want to do is when you're deleting things, you can use the trick to select all. So maybe you've selected everything after a certain date or everything in your promotions tab, for instance, and you have 100 of them viewed. And if you click that select all, now it's right below the search box and above the primary tab, then you're only going to get the 100 that are viewed on your page. So make sure that you go and click the select all of these conversations, and it can select, thousands at a time and delete those or put them in an archive or whatever you're going to do with them. So that will save you some time. So speaking of promotions tab, your promotions tab probably has things from newsletters that you sign up for. So a good way to get rid of a lot of stuff at once is to select that promotions tab and just delete them. I really recommend that you delete them, but if you're really attached to things, then archive it. But most of that stuff is probably, like I said, newsletters. So if you can, just get rid of it. Same thing with the social tab. So this is tip number 5. Get rid of what's in that social tab. And this one's a little bit easier for me because it's just your notifications from things like LinkedIn and Pinterest generally, and some other requests to join things. So that was a really easy one to delete and, get rid of a few hundred emails right at once. All right, so the next thing is to go to the sidebar and look at your drafts and your sent folder. So the drafts, you can probably delete all of those right away. So select all of those and get rid of them. The next one is the sent folder, or the sent filter. So maybe some of those you do want to keep. Maybe they're, client templates or documents or things like that. If you have to, kind of filter through them, and if not, if you can just get rid of them, then delete them, because chances are you have those contracts or samples or documents or images. You probably have them somewhere on your computer or in your Dropbox anyway, so get rid of them. Just on the off chance that a client might ask you for whatever it is that you're saving it for 2 years from now, you're so much better to just save yourself that space, and that the space free up some space in your head as well. So get rid of those if you can. So the next one is go through and view your first 100 emails. So look at what's in your inbox and see what is in common. So for me, I've got things like confirm subscription and Google alerts and watch replay, join us, doors closing. So in your search, you can actually search for things that you see happening in common. So you put quotes around it so you can search for a phrase, not just a word, or so you don't get those words appearing just in general in your email. Put quotes around it, search for something like doors closing, for instance, or watch replay. And those things are time sensitive, so you can easily just delete those. So I had about 10 different categories that I went through, and I could easily just dump those too. All right, so the final thing is create filters. So if it's things that are important for you, I have templates or from certain clients that are still in progress, you can actually create a filter and mark those off so it selects all of them that are with whatever that filter is. So for instance, I've got a client one or from a certain person, and put those into a filter and get rid of them. So like I said, my current clients, I filter them all. Or maybe it's people who I've got my top 10 to stock list, and I don't quite want to get rid of those because it's emails that, people whose emails that I always read, or they're great at sales funnels, or they're good at copywriting, or whatever it is that you need help with, or that's in your industry. So maybe it's industry news. Create a filter for those and keep it to 10. So maybe you only have 10 on your top 10 list to stock, and put those inspirations or whatever they are, put them in a filter and get rid of them. So you archive those into a folder, and you can go back to them later. Because I do actually go back and look at those as inspiration when I'm creating my own launch, for instance, and I'm doing the copywriting. I go back and I look at these and I see what are the people using as headlines, how are they wording their launch sequence. So I do use that as an inspiration folder. All right, so those 10 tips should get you pretty close to inbox zero. If not inbox zero, then it's going to get you at least some of the clutter out of your inbox. And if you're like me, like I said, getting from 11,000 emails down to a few hundred is a great way to start. And there are other people who've got some great resources. You can find them on Udemy or in blog posts. Jillian Duffy is someone I know who has a blog post on inbox zero. Pat Flynn, SBI episode number 115, where he hired a VA and got from 9,000 emails in his inbox and cut it down. So check out the other resources, and next time I will have some more specific tips for you, what to do to categorize and strategize your emails so you don't ever get back to that email hell again. This is Angelique Duffield from Brightspark Media. If you like what you're seeing, make sure to subscribe or to share it with your friends.